out fine, 'cause you're an asshole tonight.
All right, Jabronis, we're back. First episode of the new year. Now, if I'm not excited or I don't sound excited, it's because I am not. I don't like New Year's. I think it's a stupid holiday. I'll talk about it in a little bit. What the thing I am excited about, though, is if you can't tell from looking at it, is I was gifted by a Secret Santa Claus this amazing official setup. So I got the top of the line mic stand, the arm here, extendo arm, and then the number one top of the line. Everybody gets, all the big wigs get microphone, the podcast mic. I don't know who sent it to me. That I have my suspicions, and if anybody knows me, knows I'm a mental, and I'm gonna eventually find out one way or the other, so that I can repay them. But everybody's keeping silent. Mum's been the word from all the fan base. I'd had to be a fan, somebody that listens to the program, listens to the show, and knows a little bit about this stuff or knows what I wanted. I was planning on buying this stuff eventually throughout the year anyway, but this is a tremendous gift. Whoever did it, until I find out, I can only thank you publicly and anonymously, sort of. So thank you for this incredible, incredible piece of machinery, this piece of equipment. I don't really have any words to describe like how I felt when I got it, because again, on the mental case, so immediately going through my crazy brain is, all right, who got this and what do they want out of me? What do they need favor-wise, or are they trying to blackmail me or extort me or whatever? So now I got to get to the bottom of that. And finally, I was able to step back and be like, hey, idiot, just enjoy the fact that somebody appreciates you so much so that they were willing and able to purchase this incredible gift. I can't even think of a better word than incredible, because that's what it is. It's unbelievable that they were able to get this super expensive stuff. It's not cheap. That's why it's taken me so long to purchase it myself. But whoever it was, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really have no words to describe how thankful I am to receive this. It was such a great treat to get when I got back from work last week. To get it, at the hotel. It was fun setting it up and figuring out all the pieces. I'm still trying to work through what official technology is like here. So you see, I got a mixer too. I already had this from my brother and Pistol, but now I got the mixer into the mix, if you will. So I'm trying to figure all that out. People have been helping me with that, but it's been exciting. Got a new computer too. So I have a legit setup here now, thanks to almost entirely by the fans and my good friends and brothers. So thank you, everybody, and whoever got this stuff for me. I'll find out. I'll repay you years down the road whenever I'm president. So you can bank on that. But anyway, let's just roll into it, and we'll step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
Got the cleaning crew outside listening in. I'm sure they think, what the hell is going on in that room? But here we go. Today's Into the Cage segment is sponsored by Tiny Anthony's Adjustable Step Stools. Having a hard time reaching that can of crushed tomatoes in the top kitchen cabinet, you short, stumpy Guido bastard? Well, now you don't have to climb up your counter like a goddamn spider monkey anymore. Tiny Anthony's step stools offer adjustable lengths on their stools, so no matter how short you are, you'll be able to reach anything now, just like a normal-sized adult. So get your stool today by visiting www.tinystools.com/stumpy for 2% off your first stool. Now listen, I'm not here to mince words. I am a short, stumpy Guido bastard. I am below average height by industry standards, and I have a very hard time reaching top shelf cabinet equipment. You can look in the back here. You see the cabinets up there. That's tippy toe length for me. I could barely get my olive oil when I'm cooking on the stovetop. So having a Tiny Anthony stool would be, extremely beneficial for me. So if you're in that predicament, I know a couple of you are, couple of you listeners are, Weasel. You could get a Tiny Anthony's. You could swallow your pride, get the adjustable stool, 2% off, 2 inches off, what have you. All right, so the Cage fact, I did a little digging. As you know, we talk a lot about his tax troubles. So the IRS came after him a couple years ago for owing, I guess, hit the mic here, folks, sorry. For owing $6 million in unpaid taxes. So obviously he's been working to pay that back because, according to him, it was an unknown, how you doing? He didn't know he was not paying his taxes. And here's what he ended up doing. He sued his business manager. So I guess his business manager was in charge of filing his tax paperwork and doing all that finance stuff on the back end for him as he was cutting checks for, everything he got, his salary, his movies, his bonuses, all that crap that he got. And I guess he hired this business manager to take care of all that, including to file taxes. So apparently this guy was not filing the taxes for years on end, accumulating $6 million in unpaid taxes. So he sued him for $20 million for not filing taxes and also encouraging, I think he said, pressuring him into making unwise financial purchases. We talked about his previous purchases, castles, his stolen dinosaur heads, his crocodiles and sharks and all that crapola. So he countersued for $20 million to get that money to be able to pay his taxes and have a little bit of a leftover for another castle or something. I don't know the outcome of that. I don't know if that lawsuit ever went through. I'll have to do some more digging. Maybe that'll be a fact in a future episode, but that's today's Cage fact for everybody. So I hope you enjoyed that. So now, moving on over into the Junction, I think there's a better, I got a better, whatever they call the little transition into the Junction logo because I got, of course, new gear. You get new gear, you get upgrades. So thank you for that. I wanted to talk about New Year's and New Year's traditions and what I thought about it and what we did and all that crap, what we did as kids and all that crap. So like I mentioned earlier, I don't like New Year's as a holiday. I think it's a stupid holiday to celebrate. It's just another day. That's it. It's not like based off of a religious significant date that eventually got commercialized like Christmas. It's not based off of any anything earned like Veterans Day, Memorial Day, or Independence Day. It's just we just stayed alive long enough. It's like birthdays. We stayed alive long enough, and now it's another year. And that whole idea of new year, new me, and I'm going to start this off right, and this is when I'm going to get my shit together, and everything's going to get reset and refreshed, and I just can't buy it. Maybe I'm jaded, maybe I'm an old ass, whatever, but the whole idea of like, today I'm a piece of shit, tomorrow, though, everything I've done previously up to this point is erased, and I'm starting with a clean, fresh slate. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, okay? You can't go into your job the next day and people magically think you're not a piece of shit or an asshole anymore. That doesn't happen, so you can't just reset that. If you've been a lazy asshole at work your entire year or your entire existence, it's not going to refresh and restart for you. I got news for you there. If you spent 20 previous years being a fat bastard, eating like shit, not exercising, and not taking care of yourself, January 1st is not going to be immediate skinny Kyle. It's not going to happen like that. And I don't know why I just get so annoyed and frustrated when I see people in social medias and publicly and with their families and say, oh, this is the new year, new me. This is when I'm going to get my shit together. And it's like, we know the drill. Every New Year's Eve and New Year's Day is the same thing, or the week leading up to with social media posts. This is the time I get my shit together and all this malarkey. And I guess I am the old jaded piece of garbage that doesn't buy it. Sorry. Now, on a more positive side of New Year's, if you need an excuse or a reason to get your shit together, then do it on New Year's. Why not? It is a good excuse. If you need that, if that's the kind of person you are that needs a date, and needs to schedule when I need to start living my life like an adult again, maybe, or accomplishing a goal and not being a complete loser nobody, then maybe this is the day that you can start doing that. And I have no problem with that. If you're sincere about it and you need the excuse that the fire needs to be lit under your ass and it needs to be that date, then let's go. Do it up. I'm all about that. But when you see the same people every year in and year out, pull the same bullshit, that's what I don't like. So my quick message on that is, if you're using New Year's as your excuse or reason or Kickstarter to get your shit together, whatever it may be. Maybe I want to start a new job or get promoted in my career, work a different career goal, or I want to lose weight. I have a health goal I want to attain, or I want to be able to travel. So I want to find the ability to manage my time better so that I can eventually get that free time in my life to go travel. Whatever goal or idea or accomplishment you want to knock out, take the steps, plan it accordingly, and take the appropriate steps to make it happen. If you're starting on New Year's, great, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter what date you started. If this is the date you want to pick, great. But make sure you're doing it and following through on it. And we talk about that in previous episodes, which is why I get so mad about New Year's, is that we talk about this shit all year round. Building that discipline and callousing your mind and being, getting mental toughness going. So you can use this as your Kickstarter. Now, before I get more into that, because I'm just getting heated thinking about it, I do want to talk about some New Year's traditions that are fun, because when you have any reason to celebrate and have a good time with friends or family or anything, might as well take advantage of it, right? So that's what our family does. That's what we used to do a long time ago, and for a long time, up until a few years recently. So it's an excuse if you want to use it to get together with your family. I have no problem with that. Try to see the positive in things. I had to do better at that myself. Like I said, I hate New Year's, but there is a positive out of it. There's some traditions that we used to do as family. I wish I had my brother on here this episode for a part 3 of our holiday special, but he wasn't able to make it. He's got some work stuff going on, so God bless him. But we did have some cool, fun traditions, and we talked about a little bit back a few episodes when we were talking movies, I think with Nikki Sticks. But our family, when we were kids, we used to rent movies either through Blockbuster or through the Montville rental. I forgot what the hell it was called, Montville Video or something like that. I don't know. Nick, you can comment and let me know what the title of it was, because you remember that stuff. We used to rent VHSs, and we would watch a marathon of different movies throughout the day and early night with my immediate family, brother, sister, and my parents, and if we had a dog. And we would watch these movies. I think we watched like 007 one time, like GoldenEye, Entrapment. I remember watching Entrapment because that was like a New Year's themed movie with the late great Sean Connery. We would do that. Why did we do that? Well, one, any excuse to go to a video store to rent a movie back in the day was good enough for us to do it. So if our parents were letting us and using that as an excuse, we were going for sure. We would get 5 or 6 rentals and have at it. And 2, again, nobody in our family really likes New Year's. It's not a real holiday to us. It's just an excuse to fuck around, I guess. Sorry, Terrence Family Show, New Year's show. So we would put these movies on so we wouldn't have to watch the garbage that goes on TV with the New Year's Rockin' Eve or the Carson Daly crap or whatever Anderson Cooper, Andy Cohen are doing when they get drunk on TV these days. We don't have to watch Mariah Carey just struggle to survive up on stage or anything like that. So we would put movies on to kind of hide that crap. My parents would make like pigs in a blanket and some other like TV dinner style hors d'oeuvres like that you can microwave and really just grease it up and really fatten us up just before, before our New Year's resolution to get in better shape, Then we would we'd stop the movies. We would put on one of those stupid channels. I think it was Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve because he was sort of like a mainstay before he died. Seacrest doesn't do a bad job, I guess, in it as his replacement. But yeah, we would put on Dick Clark because we loved watching that old bastard with his half paralyzed mouth try to make out with his wife when the ball dropped. I thought that was a splendid little way to ring in the new year. But we would watch the ball drop, and then as soon as the ball was dropped, we would change the channel and put on Honeymooners Marathon. So I don't know how many people actually see that across the country. The Honeymooners was an old black and white show. Jackie Gleason, Art Carney, those fellas and gals from back in the day. They play that in New York, New Jersey area for all the old greaseball Italians to watch, good old shows. They have a marathon that starts at midnight, goes through the rest of the day, the next day. So we always put that on. I don't know. Again, I don't think it's outside of New York, New Jersey area. I think the rest of the world doesn't even know what the Honeymooners are. So we watched that crap, but and didn't watch the rest of the New Year's festivities. And that was fun. And up to this day, I still do that. And I don't know I think my parents still do it, but that's always a good time. Another thing we did I was debating on talking about this because I never really looked up if this was a common tradition and if it was weird or stupid or disgusting or whatever. But I don't know the origin of where it came from either. I don't know if it's Italian or Polish or some crap like that. But we would get a jar of pickled herring. I think it was pickled herring. It's fish in a jar. It's pickled, And we would each have a piece of it. And when the ball dropped and it hit midnight, I guess you would eat that for good luck. I never asked questions. It was that whole blind loyalty thing of Crazy Carol and JPL3 said, you will eat your fish at midnight or else no honeymooners, no more snacks, no nothing, no new year. That's it. So we just did it. I never asked questions. And to this day, I still never looked up what the hell the tradition is all about, what it means. I think it's for good luck. I don't know. It hasn't worked out too much, but we always did that. And then another thing that I think Crazy Carol tried to like, I don't know if she lied or she just wanted this to be real, but she would tell us, oh, we go out and we bang pots and pans with the wooden spoon, Nona Lucrezia's wooden spoons, discounted rate if you go use the promo code from the show. And go outside and bang pots and pans and scream Happy New Year to everybody. Let's start everything fresh again. Whatever. I don't know. Why I don't think it was a real tradition is because she would force us to go out there, bully us outside, and we would be the only ones doing it on the whole block. So my dad never did it. You had four of us outside banging pots and pans like a bunch of idiots, screaming at the top of our lungs, Happy New Year, you fucking moron. Sorry, Theron's Family Show. For no reason at all. We're the only ones. Nobody's out there celebrating. There's no fireworks in that neighborhood. I don't know if it was because it was like a non-Italian neighborhood or what, but we were the only assholes on this side of the Mississippi banging pots and pans with Nona Lucrezia spoons on New Year's Eve when the ball dropped. And again, to this day, even though I'm barely home for New Year's, I get the call from Crazy Carol. Oh, you better eat your fish and go outside and bang those pots and pans because you need that good luck. And that's what you do. Tradition, blind loyalty. Don't question me, just do it. So we did it. I just knocked my earpiece out. I'm just all over the place with the Italian hands today. So that's what we used to do New Year's Eve. Now, recently, over the past couple of years, it's been low key. We don't go to each other's houses anymore. We kind of do it virtually. We've been doing the virtual game. We've been ahead of everybody for quite some time now on that. But we would, if I'm home, I'll go hang out with my parents. If not, I don't know. I'm doing the same thing at home. I'm watching movies. I watch the ball drop. I make sure I get my good luck fish. I bang pots and pans like an animal, and then honeymooners. I still do it, and I'll call my parents and tell them I did it just so they know, so I don't get hit when I get back home. Sometimes when I am in Jersey, my sister was having some nice, like, small get-togethers of people, so I would stop by to see them and see the kids and have a good time. Again, an excuse to have a good time, even though I don't like the holiday. It was not for the holiday. It was for the ability to see my family and my friends. But we still sort of hold on to those New Year's Eve traditions, which I like. New Year's Day is what I actually miss. Again, not because of the holiday and the fresh start bull crap, but on New Year's Day, my father, of course, would hit Calandras for another round of bread loaves, and we would go to New York to another sect of the Libretti family, different from Christmas, sort of different from Christmas. And we go to the cousin's house, and it would be all day food. Now, when I say all day food, it's not like, oh, you buy food, you bring it, you eat it, and then you go make something else and you order food, pizza, whatever. No, you walk into my cousin's house and it's a long table, like it looks like a conference room table or something like the Knights would sit at. Not the round table, but something like Knights or Vikings would sit at. Long, fits 40 people. And the entire table, you can't fit plates, you can't fit glasses, you can't even sit there. It's a table of only food. And it starts at the beginning, starts with the antipasto, you guys call them the charcuterie boards or whatever the hell they're called now, what the trendy hipsters call them, but it's just a board of meat and cheese and maybe one vegetable, mostly meats and cheeses though. And then it kind of advances over into like hotter appetizers, maybe some like some sort of dips that you can dip your meats and cheeses into, so to speak. And then it evolves further down the table to more entree based, or maybe like pre-entree, maybe like a salad to get that oil and vinegar in you so that it expands your stomach a little bit so you can feed yourself more like the fat bastards that we were, which again, I didn't have a problem with because I don't restart on New Year's. It's not my fresh start day like everybody else that does it on social media. So I had no problem with that. You expand the stomach with the salad, and then the next part of the table, the middle, was the entrees. When I say entrees, that's exactly what I mean. Okay? It was some sort of pasta, some macaroni, whether it was hand-rolled spaghettis from my aunt or gavadils or pennes or any other name for macaroni that you can imagine. It was there on the table with meat sauce. So you had sausage in there, meatballs, brajolles, all in the sauce and the gravy that we call it gravy because it got the meat in it. I don't know what you guys call it, whatever. But that's what it was, a bowl of the meat gravy and then several bowls of different macaronis that you can choose from to eat. Now, if you were a veteran, you would know ahead of time that's not it. That's not the end. That's not the be-all, end-all. There is more to come. Okay? Because now if you step to your left a little bit further down the table, you got entrees number 2 to 5, depending on who brought entrees that day. So now you have your chickens, you got your cutlets, your chicken parms, marsalas, any types of chicken. You got the veal version of all of that. You got the eggplant versions of all of that. Then maybe on a special occasion, you might have some like lamb chops, some ribs possibly, depending again who made it to the event that day. There would be some bottles of wine strewn about around the room that you can hydrate with. You got to lube up the esophagus to make sure you get all that food down. Talking about food here, folks. Family show, don't forget. Sorry, Terrence. And then as you step out of the entrees, you evolve now into the desserts. Now, quick caveat. Before desserts, it's a very small section of table that's for fruit. It's like pre-dessert fruits to cleanse the palate. There's sometimes we had fenouil, which is like, I think the regular name is fennel. It's like some plant that tastes good. I like it. But we call it fenouil. We would eat some of that. That cleanses the palate. It's sort of like an Italian celery. We'd have, oranges. Sometimes there's somebody put walnuts, like water chestnuts out there for you to dick around and eat while you're waiting. Meanwhile, while you're doing that and continuing to expand your gut, there's a whole team of family members in the kitchen cleaning plates so that they can throw the plates back out for people to use for desserts. So it was a slick operation we had. It was a fine-tuned machine that we got going on over there. So you move down, you cleanse the palate, and now it's the rest of the table is desserts and coffees and dessert liqueurs, whatever. It was booze for dessert. All right. The whole rest of the table, we're talking like a quarter table of cannolis, lobster tails. What's the other shit? Schwiedels? I think that's how you pronounce it. I just pointed to it, or I grabbed a couple before somebody else's bare claws can snatch them all. Cookies, ice creams, different types of cheesecakes. There's a New York style. There's the cheesecake with fruit on top. There's cheesecake with booze in it. There's cannolis with booze in it. There's coffee with booze in it. All these different types of desserts. And then you would have your coffee, your espresso, put a little Zambuca in that just to hold you over. And then you finish things off with a hot, fresh nap. You got all the fat old bastards in the family sitting on the couches, unzipped and unbelted. You got the team finishing up the cleaning again in the kitchen to make sure everything's clean. And then to-go containers were ready to go so that when the fat bastards woke up, we were able to pick up our to-go gear and head back on our way after an amazing day of just eating and loudly talking over each other. There was one loud, continuous conversation that did not stop from the moment you walked into the door to the moment you started saying goodbyes, which is another 30-minute event in itself, just saying goodbye to everybody. So you talking about something that I miss. It is the Libretti family New Year's Day celebration, which again was not for really New Year's. It was more for clearing that table of the food. It was like a mission. And we succeeded year after year after year, and it was great. And I wish my brother was here to expound upon it, because it was a special day. We haven't been able to do it in a few years because everyone's bouncing all over the country. Relatives are dying, people overseas. We got the COVIDs now, so it was tough, the past, recently to make that happen. But boy, do I miss that. If I missed anything of New Year's, it's definitely that for sure. I don't know if you guys have done anything similar to that. I'm sure there's a couple of Italians, New York Italians and Jersey Italians that listen to this that probably have something similar, at least a little bit. But tremendous day, man. I just think about all the food and desserts that we had. It was awesome, just awesome. We used to tell stories about my grandfather, JPL2, all the shenanigans he got himself in. That's when we first publicized and told the story of Frankenshelf, which again, I'm waiting. I'll bring my brother on for that one. We'll talk about Frankenshelf on a different episode, but just great time reminiscing, BSing with your family. Again, another excuse to eat and drink and take naps. So I definitely do miss that. The rest of New Year's, I can completely do without. The whole idea that it's an actual holiday you get off from work is wild to me. I'm also not mad about being off work, though, so I guess that's good. I'm sure people are happy about that. But again, I kind of going back to what I was bitching about or talking about earlier was if you have a goal in mind and you're using this as your igniter, I don't even know what to say, what the words I'm trying to find. If you're using this to kickstart your new lifestyle or your changes, your updates and improvements in your life, I'm all on board for that. And I'm here for that. I'm here for you. And I hope that you guys, you do that. You actually do something like that. Again, I'm fumbling my words here. This is what a shitty episode this is going to turn out to be. But I do hope you find something, even if it's one small goal, one tiny new thing you want to do with your life, whether it's a fitness or health goal, or it's a personality trait that you want to improve on yourself. You want to volunteer more, you want to be more grateful, what have you. I hope there's something good that you can identify. And if you got to use today as an excuse or yesterday as an excuse, or whatever they did this airs, if you want to use New Year's as the reason, as the starting block to go for that, then I'm all for that. And I'm here for that. Please reach out to me to help with that, to help create that discipline in your life to accomplish that goal. Because again, that's what I've been talking about, even with my brother for the past several episodes and several weeks now, since Thanksgiving, really, is not just having those feelings of trying to better yourself and better others and be a nicer, more wholesome, healthier person, not having them die on the same day you have them on the holiday. They should endure past the holiday. Just like Santa Kurt Russell says, Christmas must endure. Your goals of improvement and being a better human being should also endure past the holiday. And I want to be here for that. That's what I enjoy doing most with my spare time with my friends and family, is helping people stay on their path towards discipline and betterment. Because it helps me. You want to talk about selfish reasons. It helps me maintain discipline and improve my abilities to do that stuff too. So I use that as an excuse so that I can keep moving to the right. We always say that, pushing to the right, moving forward and improving your life. And it could be as simple as the 3 things I've been talking about again for weeks. The 3 simple things: exercise, think about others as human beings before you go after them or you discuss something on social media about another person, and then be grateful and thankful for all the good things and the good people that you have in your life currently. If you can be those 3 things, that you can start on New Year's or this week or whatever, use this as the Kickstarter to start building those 3 things, improving those 3 simple things in your life throughout the rest of this year. You want to have a New Year's resolution, do that and take it one day at a time. Start your New Year's resolutions realistic. My first week of the new year, I'm going to exercise 5 days of this week. And I'm not going to post, text message tough guy anyone on social media this week, or just two of 7 days. And I'm going to write down one thing I'm grateful for at least 3 of the 7 days, whatever, some small, realistic, attainable goal just to get your brain and your body and your heart on board and get them used to doing something better for yourself and for others. And I know I'm sound like a broken record. There's a mental case again, just droning on about the same shit over and over again. But I think this is some of the most important things that you can do as a human being that not only betters you, it betters those around you. It's seriously a contagious good thing that can happen. It's so easy to start. think about it for a second. Let's just try to conceptualize this and put this on paper in theory. Try to use the good parts of your brain that have a lot of dust and cobwebs on it. Critically think about this for a second. Let's kind of step this one out. One thing, you eat your meal on a weekend, you eat lunch, and then you go for a walk. That's exercise. It's as simple as that. Now you just exercised, even if it's a 1 mile walk. Immediately after your meal, you're able to help digest. It keeps your metabolism moving. You're not sitting on your couch sedentary like a fat blob of shit. And you can check the box that now that goal for the day has been accomplished. I exercised today. And then as you get more and more of those check boxes, those little check boxes accomplished, you can start stepping things up. Now I'm going to go to the gym and work out, physically lift weights, or I'm going to run a mile instead of just walk it. And you stair step it, use Tiny Anthony's stool step it up until you're just an unstoppable monster in the exercise game. And it's not an easy road. I'm not saying it's easy to do. It's a simple concept. Yes, that's what I am saying. It is simple in theory and in concept, but it is very difficult to physically do, which is why you have to set yourself up for success by creating small attainable goals and slowly and surely increasing the difficulty of those goals until you're able to continue accomplishing things and expanding your comfort zone and callousing your mind and creating that discipline. And that's just exercise. That's just one aspect, one simple thing to do. And then you do the same thing for thinking about others as human beings before you shitpost or something like that, before you do or say anything. And then also, again, being thankful and reminding yourself of all the good things you have in your life, whether it's a material thing like this incredible new equipment that I received or the people that gifted it to me. I couldn't be more thankful for that. And it's made me so much happier. Just that alone has made me so much happier the past few days, just thinking about how great my life is, that I have people in my life that are so nice and thoughtful and care about me so much to do something like this. It's made my life so much better just in those 3 days alone since I got it. I don't know how they feel. I'm sure they feel good about it. I hope they do. They should. But that just goes back to what I'm saying, how contagious good is. Good is more contagious than bad. We've just been pumped so much bad and chaos and doom and gloom for the past 5 to 10 years, probably more, down our throats, the constant negative. That's all our brains are thinking. Negative. Oh, I can't exercise. It's too tough to lose that weight or to be, healthier. Oh, it's too tough to have to figure out what that person, who that person is that I'm about to shit post and text message tough guy on. I don't want to care about them. It's just so much easier just to post and dash. But good is more contagious than evil, than bad, than negative. So use this New Year's as your reason, as your excuse to start that improvement process in your life, to be a better person physically, mentally, emotionally. The 3 simple things. I'll say them until I'm fucking blue in the face like this Giants shirt. I'll keep repeating them every episode that I remember to repeat them, because that's what you got to do. We got to get that repeatable process in our crazy brains. So use New Year's. Use it as an excuse. You want to celebrate the holiday and new year, whatever the hell the saying is, go for it. Just remember a couple of things about that, though. One, your previous life is not erased, so people don't forget. So it's going to be harder to change people's minds and impressions on you if you were a piece of garbage prior. It's not going to happen overnight, so keep that in mind when you're creating your disciplined effort into improvement. And 2, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to sustain the constant thought process and effort and discipline into improving yourself in order for you to be successful in your endeavor. And you can ask my brother about it. You can ask Dangerous David's Gotham's first son himself, Cobblepot. They have spent several years now, a couple years, improving their lives. And I've seen it, firsthand almost, at least with my brother, how much better their lives are, how much effort they had to put in, and the highs and lows of all that, and how they stayed the course and stayed disciplined to become better people, physically, mentally, emotionally. So seek help if you need it, is what I'm sort of getting at there. People are here to help. You don't have to do it alone. That's why I love helping people, because, again, it's an excuse for me to get help as well. It gives me a reason to keep my focus and maintain my efforts and discipline. I'm not doing it by myself. If I'm by myself, I'm sitting on the couch like a fat bastard watching Office or South Park reruns or Sopranos and thinking about just being a loser, being a nobody. I'm not even thinking about anything. My brain is shut off. So I thrive on other people putting that effort in as well, because it motivates me. It keeps my discipline up. So if you need somebody to help you with that, reach out to me. I'll be there for you until you accomplish those goals, whatever they may be. Now, if your goal is to rob a bank, I'm not in on that. Okay. I got a reputation to protect. I'm trying to be president. So take a hike with that crap. But New Year's, new you. Get it going. All right. I'm here for you. The Jabroni Junction's here for you. Spread the good word to all your friends and family. Spread the goodness. Okay. It's contagious when it's spread. If you keep it bottled up inside and you don't do it yourself, it's not going to spread. So spread the goodness to everybody. I hope you guys had a good New Year. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you guys. I love you all. I couldn't be happier that I have the fan base that I do. You guys are true ride or dies. If I ever do make it big, I'll never forget the group of you that started with me from the beginning, that have engaged in the comments, the feedbacks, the funny shit talks, the back and forths, helping me with Profile Pick 2021. I don't know if you guys, I forgot to mention that. Did you see that? Profile Pick 2021. I thought that was a pretty good success. If you haven't seen it, go on the Facebook and the Instagram and check that out. But you guys are the reason why I love doing this so much more than I ever thought I would. I started this for me to improve some speaking abilities and critically thinking on the fly abilities, and being also entertaining while doing it. But because of you guys, because you have been such good, important fans and friends and family members in my life, it's made it so much more fun and more enjoyable for me. And I can't wait to continue doing it the rest of this year and moving forward and trying to get bigger and better for all you guys. And I'll never forget the ride or dies that the Jabroni Junction has right now at this moment. When I'm big and rich and living in the White House, I'll never forget you guys. So again, happy New Year's to you. I hope you had a good New Year's Eve and day. Get going on your goals. Stay disciplined with your goals. I love you all. Stay strong.
And I was talking to your mother just the other night. I told her I thought you were an asshole,